I want you guys to have, including myself, I want to have kind of like a general idea what to expect. She comes with a lot of base HP, not a lot of base attack, but we'll talk about that. And she's going to get crit damage unless things are going to change. Crit damage 88.4% at level 90. Now quickly, I want to talk about the Staff of Homa, which thematically matches. I think this is mostly just catered towards Hu Tao as well as Zhongli. 608 base attack, and that is going to be important for what we're going to talk about very soon. Crit damage at 66%. So level 90 Hu Tao with the Staff of Homa is going to get 150, more than 150 crit damage. Unless things are changed. That is a lot. At level 90, 106 base attack with the Staff of Homa, that is going to be 714. With their elemental skill, things start to get exciting. Guide to Afterlife. There are two parts. There is the Paramita Pelio. Oh my god, okay, I mispronounced it. I'm 100% sure. Anyways, increases Hu Tao's attack based on her max HP. At the time of entering this state, she enters a state where she gets an attack bonus based off her max HP. And the attack increase is going to be based off her talent level 6. That's going to be 5.06% of max HP is going to be turned into attack. And there is a cap at 400% of Hu Tao's base attack. And I just told you guys the base attack of Hu Tao at level 90 with the 5-star weapon, it's going to be 714. My Xiao has over 1,000, and that is because Xiao does have a lot of base attack. However, Hu Tao, she's going to gain attack through her elemental skill. So she gets her attack boosted, and 400% of 714 is going to be what? 2,856. So that's going to be the cap. The second thing that happens is that her damage gets converted to pyro damage. So normal charge attacks, pyro damage, great. Cannot be overridden by any other elemental infusion. Now, this gets interesting. When you do charged attacks, while you have her elemental skill enabled, charge attack is going to apply a debuff, Blood Blossom. And what this does is pretty much a damage over time. It's a dot, a pyro damage dot every 4 seconds, and the damage will scale off basically her talent level. So at talent level 6, that's going to be 89.6%. But do remember, she is getting her attack boosted. This, we have to see how much damage this is going to do. Now, the biggest question that I have personally is Blood Blossom, when you apply it through the charge attack, is it going to deal initial damage? If we're not going to get the initial application damage, then it's going to take twice at the 4th and the 8th second. So this ability seems like the only ability where when you switch out of Hu Tao, there is still going to be this pyro application. And yes, there is Xiangling, a cheaper alternative, a 4-star with Guba, but Guba's aim isn't always perfect. Xiangling does have her elemental burst where she has that spinning blade. When you switch out of her, the pyronado, whatever, it does spin around and apply pyro. It does it very well. So is it gonna be better than Xiangling when it comes to applying pyro? The duration of Blood Blossom is refreshed by Hu Tao herself. So one thing that I'm curious about is if I am spamming charge attacks, is it going to refresh the duration? What's going to happen? There's nothing about stacks. So is it going to like refresh it? So you have to wait another 4 seconds after a charge attack to see the bloom damage? We'll have to wait and see. Now, her elemental skill lasts 9 seconds. So during the 9 seconds, you can charge attack and apply the Blood Blossom. However, after the 9 seconds of her elemental skill, the Paramita state, she's going to go back to dealing physical damage with her normal and charged attacks. And one more thing, when you pop her elemental skill, it lasts for 9 seconds. But if you swap to a different character or Hu Tao, rips in pieces, dies, then you're going to lose that attack boost and the pyro damage conversion and the ability to apply Blood Blossom. So kind of have that selfish kind of thing going on right there with the elemental skill. And she's going to lose 30% of her current HP when she pops the elemental skill. It doesn't matter about the talent level, it's going to be 30%. I know we're talking about a lot of numbers, but the cooldown duration is important because you want to combo it. Here we go. So the elemental skill has a cooldown of 16 seconds, elemental burst 15 seconds. So every time she goes into her elemental skill state, her elemental burst will be up, and that is important. She's going to lose HP using the elemental skill, but she's going to gain it back through her elemental burst. The cooldowns are once again in line with each other, so that when you're in elemental skill state gaining that attack boost, you're able to use the elemental burst with the beefed up attack. Now, if HP of Hu Tao is below or equal to 50% when the enemy is hit, both the damage and HP generation, so basically 50% or below, she's gonna deal increased damage. The playstyle I'm thinking is when she is below or at 80% HP, you want to pop her elemental skill. Now, we don't have any percentage bars in our UI HP bars, so you just have to pretty much eyeball it. When you see your character HP bar at around like 75%, then you pop her elemental skill. That's gonna make sure, because you're gonna lose 30% current HP. So you're gonna go from 75 to below 50. So let me just clean this up. At 50% HP or below, you gain 33% pyro damage coming from her passive, and if you have Staff of Homa, you're gonna get additional attack bonus. So to maximize my Hu Tao, what I'm going to do is pop my elemental skill when she's around like 75% HP. That way I am below 50% HP. I'm gonna get that pyro damage bonus from a passive, the Staff of Homa attack bonus, and I'm gonna do as much damage with charge attacks and things like that. And right before the elemental skill is about to expire, because I'm going to lose my attack bonus, I'm going to do my elemental burst. And by using my elemental burst below 50% HP, I'm going to do more damage, and I'm going to get healed back up even further. And by healing myself up with the elemental burst, I'm going to lose the pyro damage bonus and the Staff of Homa attack bonus. But it's okay, because my elemental skill, my burst window is over. Whew. That's pretty much how she works without the constellations. So before elemental burst, you should be doing charged attacks to apply the blood blossom to as many opponents as possible. Now, one thing to note is that when she enters elemental skill state, she does knock them back. That is kind of like her CC. And yeah, that's about it. And the cooldowns should line up 15 seconds and 16 seconds. They're gonna line up pretty well. And the energy cost is gonna be 60. So it should be up almost every time her elemental skill is up. However, what the hell do you do outside of that? The cooldown of her elemental skill, that gives the steroided attack boost as well as pyro damage, 16 seconds, but duration 9 seconds. So for the 7 seconds, what do you do? Well, there are some hints from her Ascension passive talent. When the elemental skill state activated by Guide to Afterlife is over, so after the 9 seconds, all allies in the party, excluding Hu Tao herself, will have their crit rate increased by 12% for 8 seconds. That kind of fits because, yeah, you have 7-second dead period. This dead period of 7 seconds waiting for elemental skill. For 8 seconds, you're going to have that increased crit rate. And if you spread it out, the blood blossoms, that's going to apply pyro. So vaporize, melt, hello, it's coming, baby. So switch on over to Kea or other cryo characters, or even like Sing Shu. We'll talk about that later on. I don't want to go too much into detail because this is like the whale territory, but Constellation 1, basically, when she's in her elemental skill state, she can go berserk, WOMBO combo. Her charged attacks do not consume stamina. Now, as a free-to-play, you can still spam charge attacks. You can still, you'll have a full, near full stamina bar. You can still spam it within that 9-second duration. You still gotta pop the ult, and we don't know if the ult is going to, the elemental burst is going to have a cast time or not. Constellation 2 will boost blood blossom damage. Not only that, her little ghost spirit will also apply it. So when you do her elemental burst, remember it AoE, so it's gonna apply it to everyone. But Constellation 4, upon defeating an enemy affected by blood blossom that Hu Tao applied herself. So that means that Constellation 2 is out of the picture because it's not Hu Tao applying it, it's her spirit. So I guess she has to apply herself. Does that overlap it? Once again, does that reset the timer, the ticking timer? All nearby enemies in the party, excluding Hu Tao, will get additional crit rate increased by 12% for 15 seconds. Constellation 3-5 talent upgrades. That's gonna, boost her elemental skill and burst, the WOMBO combo. Constellation 6 triggers when Hu Tao's HP drops below 25%, or when she takes a lethal damage. Just one, guys. Which means that she'll be saved from the killing blow. Additionally, for the next 10 seconds, her elemental and physical resistance is increased by 20%. That does not make her immortal. However, her crit rate is increased by 100%. Remember, she gets a lot of crit damage from her weapon if you get the Staff of Huoma. So for Constellation 6 whales, what we do is wait for her to be at a lower HP threshold before popping the elemental skill to trigger the Constellation 6. That way she gets the 100% crit rate to do the Wombo combo with the upgraded talents coming from Constellation 3 and 5. Okay, so she's pretty much quick in and out, bam bam character. That's what Wombo combo means. As for party, I don't know if I want to get shields. So shielding may not be as good with her. Now by heal when Hu Tao is at 80%. However, as soon as you are standing within the pepperoni, the red circle with the thumbs up of Bennett's, and you press the elemental skill when she's at 80%, she's gonna drop to 50%. That means that you're going to get the heal coming from Bennett. With Shanling and Hu Tao, that's going to be a lot of pyro applications, so that when you do swap out with that increased crit rate, you can go nuts with melt with either, of course, Chungyun, there's Kea, and vice versa as well. Kea is going to be good at applying cryo for Hu Tao. Ganyu, of course, but Kea, with his alt elemental skill with that low cooldown, gonna have that cryo application, so that your Wombo combo with Hu Tao, the elemental skill and burst, will deal big daddy damage. You can of course go with vaporize, like Singshu comes to mind. You can weave in a normal attack to get the vaporize for Hu Tao as well. There is Mona with their elemental skill that is going to give Hydro debuff as well. And also Child will be interesting with the Blood Blossoms giving the Pyro debuff. Switch over to a C0 Child or something. Doesn't have to be with Constellations. And it's going to give crit to your party, excluding Hu Tao, so Child can benefit from that as well. As for the artifacts, I think maybe the Crimson looks pretty good with the 2-piece. The 4-piece, you're not gonna get the full 3 stacks because the elemental skill cooldown is quite long. However, it's still gonna give a stack, which is what, 7.5%, so it's 22.5% extra pyro damage. And what else? You're going to increase your damage of vaporize and melt for Hu Tao as well. So that is the point that I want to get across, guys. Yes, if you're a Hu Tao fan, you're gonna pull for her anyways, but if you're thinking that she's gonna deal like massive damage all the time like Ganyu, that may not be the case. Kind of like how Xiao, when he's elemental bursted, he's ridiculous, kind of like that, but with her elemental skill, because her elemental skill and burst has pretty much like the same cooldown, and you're gonna get that 60 energy pretty reliably. So yeah, that's how Hu Tao seems to work in my mind. If your playstyle is doing massive Wombo combo, switching in and out, then Hu Tao may be perfect for you. But I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know about what you should at least expect with Hu Tao. Anyways, you have a couple of weeks to prepare. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And here is the giveaway winner. Congratulations. Hit me up on Discord ASAP, and more to come. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Your boy Zeal's out. Make sure you guys smack this video a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.